while my girl waited patient. Spent a lifetime on this music, going nowhere, I was losing it. She was right there enduring this, why her folks like, why she doing this? But Shawty didn't care what nobody said. She was gon' ride to the day I'm dead, stay by my side when the others fled. So I'm convinced that she deserves it all. She believed in me when chances were real small. I picture me driving a foreign. She riding the passenger side. 3 in the morning, holding my head up, why I keep on grinding to buy her expensive things that money can buy. Her beauty represents me well. She loves me and others can tell. Her heart is where my love would dwell. Talk about her man and she would rebel. I ain't ashamed, this ain't a game. She was right there in the storm and the rain. And through the pain and the financial strain, now she gon' shine with the fortune and fame. She gambled her life for me, she sacrificed for me. She deserves it all. It's only right, you see, no matter the price, you see. I picture me driving the Ford. Me driving the fly, and now my history is changing. She's my day one and there is no rearranging. She's had my back through the times when things were straining. Now she benefit from every cent I'm gaining. Listen to what I'm saying. No dividing, no compromising. She gon' ride while I keep on climbing. Just recognize we gon' keep on thriving. She believe that I'll see greatness in due time. I picture me driving the Ford. She riding the passenger side. 3 in the morning, 3 in the morning.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Can you hear? Hey, welcome to Living Your Best Life with John Kirtley. You know, I want to thank everybody for coming out. It's Monday night at 8 o'clock, and you know you're in the right place at the right time when you're with the right host. And that's what we do over here at BU Radio. I want to acknowledge all the programs we have at BU Radio. I want to acknowledge Braids in the Beauty. Also comes on Mondays at 1 p.m. The Wong Show that comes on Mondays at 7 p.m. Key Talk Tuesdays with Amber J. Malik's Truth that comes on Wednesdays at 7. That's my producer, comes on Thursdays, I believe, at 1 or 2. Jump Off comes on Sunday, Jump Off. Expressions of Praise, great show. All these shows are great, and we also have Sauce in the City. Amazing team we got over here at BU Radio, and if you want to get out here and join this team and get your message out and bring some guests on that we need to know here in Las Vegas, Nevada, or anywhere in the United States, we can have them on this show via telephone. All right. I want to acknowledge my sponsors. 702 Braids for You was doing my hair, the braids that I wore for 4 months. Great job. Appreciate you over there. Bougie Girl Vegas, my little sis, she's doing it on there. All this bling that I get to wear and everything is courtesy of her. Y'all need to go to her website. Anytime you purchase something from any one of my sponsors, you'll get a 10 to 15% discount. All you have to say is you heard us on Living Your Best Life, or just say Life Coach Kurt. Type that in the promo and you'll get that discount. We have an amazing night of information. I got my brother from another mother here. Been knowing him since 2000 and I think 3 or 4. We united, did a project together when I was in the Nevada Parent Teachers Association. We had the opportunity to speak to about 45 white ladies, okay, I'm gonna just put it out there, that didn't know that there's brothers out here that take care of their families and raise their kids. It was just a great opportunity to educate the others out there, and when we got done, they was like, oh my God, these guys are too amazing. And ever since then, this is my brother, and we just do what we do. I call him Mr. Las Vegas. Everybody knows Shondell. Everybody knows Mr. Shondell Newsom. He take more pictures than Carter got liver pills, I'll be honest with you. He always there, and it's just an honor. We're going to have a brief conversation. We're going to talk about his business, his marketing company, Soon New, and we're going to go from there. So how you doing, Shondell?
You know what? I'm doing great, Kurt.
Man, welcome to the show. Yes, man, I'm so humbled to have you like right next to me on my show. This is my first quarter, and this quarter is based on living your best life, but it's also understanding your purpose and passion.
Wow.
And I've known you for so long that you've never strayed from that. And like you said, you started your purpose and your passion and purpose at 13 years old. Yeah. We're going to get into that, but like I always do, anytime I get a guest that come on my show, they get one of my shirts, my brother.
Uh-oh.
There you go. You might want to hold it up and let them know you living your best life, huh?
My best life. Aha.
Go ahead. So go ahead and enlighten us. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your family, your business, and then I'll go on and get some questions out there. But please introduce yourself.
Well, you said I'm Shondell Newsom.
Yes,
one of the things, I'm not gonna steal Mr. Las Vegas. A few people got that right. I always say, I was very, very blessed to grow up in Do or Die, and moved all the way out to Sin City.
Okay.
So that was 34 years ago. 34 years ago from Brooklyn to Las Vegas, by way of the United States Air Force.
Yes, sir.
I truly enjoyed my Air Force career. I was on the teams that did stealth technology, drone technology. So that's what I love. That's what I really, really enjoyed. So I'm telling you that I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed that I have had this journey for a long time, and then I know you're going to get into a little bit of the entrepreneurial journey, but I have a wife, and we raised 8 children in Las Vegas. We were single parents with 4 children each, and then we just hung together. Me and my wife were doing separately, doing amazing things, so we decided to come together, get married. It'll be 25 years.
Woo, Lord, yes.
Now, and our kids are grown. So, I have been living my best life, and I hate to say it a lot of times, but people don't realize that living your best life doesn't mean living an easy life,
right?
But it is my best life. Absolutely.
That is so true.
Yep.
We both have military backgrounds.
Yes, sir.
You say you've been in your marriage for 25 years.
Yes.
And I've been in mine for 35 years. Incredible.
Right.
And my son is 25 years old, so when he popped out, y'all was probably getting married.
That's what was happening. That was happening. Yep.
That's what it does.
And today we have a family-owned business. I mean, New Marketing is a spin on our name from Newsom. Newsom, my father said when we were growing up in Brooklyn, he had 7 kids. He said, look, if you are going to grow up and be somebody, you have to do something new. We grew up in Bed-Stuy. We grew up in these neighborhoods that my father was in the projects, and he always wanted us to stay away from that, away from that life. So he said, do something new. So I started off as Newsom Marketing Enterprises, and then later on I changed it to Some New, because I said every time somebody say they want to do something new, it's do something new. So I spelled it different, SUMNU.
Yes, sir.
Because we want you to do something new, and instead of a new normal, we want you to do some new normal.
That is so great. And you know what? The business part of it, that's what I really want to focus on, because you built it. I mean, you started back in station casinos back in the day.
Sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Go ahead and bring us to that journey from when you left them Like I left the bank,
Right.
and then started our own business.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just trying to keep up with you.
You're right.
Go ahead, tell that story.
Well, I left the military, and like I said, in the Air Force, we had a unique job. It was stealth technology, drone technology. When I started with Station Casinos, we were working with 4 properties: Texas Station, Boulder Station, Palace Station, and Sunset Station.
Okay.
And we were embarking on this new technology called the boarding pass program. A lot of people have that card now. They use it to get points and get cash and get different things like that. But we were just developing that software, and we were just developing the culture and the brand that today people know as Station Casinos. And later on, we purchased the Santa Fe, where I became the first marketing director at Santa Fe Station. We built the Green Valley. We purchased the Reserve, which became Fiesta Henderson. We bought the Fiesta across the street from Texas Station, and we just kept growing and growing and growing. And it was a great journey. So I decided one day, I was on a 7-day cruise with my wife, and she asked me, what do I really want to do with my life? And I said, you know what? I want to impact my community. I want to do something amazing in my community. I want to help small businesses, and I want to help people that live in our community. So I left Station Casinos in 2002, embarked upon the journey to open Newsom Marketing Enterprises in 2006. And in 2009, we hit the recession. We were doing great with Newsom Marketing. We were killing the game. And, it really was a lesson in futility. It was a lesson in faith. It was a lesson in all of those things. And, we just really decided as a family that we were going to bring the company back in 2010 as some new marketing with my son, my daughter, my niece, and my wife. And we all chipped in, and we made it happen. And, we won Family Owned Business of the Year in 2015. And that was the biggest accomplishment that we could have, because I could see my father smiling from heaven.
Yes, sir.
My father passed away in 2009. He was actually my first investor in the business, first business partner. And you've seen many times as I posted, I talk about my father. Not that my mother is amazing. She's still amazing today.
Right.
Evangelist Helen Newsom in Brooklyn. She's still living in the brownstone we grew up in. But my dad, and what I believe, he gave me, the pride and the joy of being a black man. He taught me how to be a black man, which is important. And a lot of people don't realize that the image and the personification of a black man is the most powerful man on the planet. And that's why people fear us. People don't fear us because we sag our pants, because we wear cornrows and stuff like that. They fear us because our intellect is way beyond what they could imagine. And it brings people to a fear point. And my father taught me that in the 70s with black encyclopedias.
Yes.
Paul Robeson.
Robeson,
you talk about all these different smart black people, Booker T. Washington, and you talk about W.E.B. Du Bois. You talk about all the arts and everything that comes from us. That's why, I say I walk in my purpose, because God let me walk that journey with that amazing man and my amazing mom and my siblings. And now today, my wife and my children and my grandchildren. It's just walking in grace, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And not to cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
But you said something that solidifies. Now, we're close in age, and my father had me at 41 years old.
Okay.
And so, being in the Bay Area, he came from L.A.
Yep.
But one thing he told me, and it sounded like you kind of said the same thing, is understand the meaning of your last name.
Yes,
because
sir.
Your grandfather, myself, my dad was saying this, and your grandfather went through a whole lot of something you will never probably experience to the degree that they did to keep our name proud.
Yes.
Don't do nothing that you're going to have your name in the paper negatively.
Yeah.
Don't let people say, John Kirtley, this, and this. You need to stay on top of your game. And I watched you, I can't say I watched you grow, but I actually have.
Yeah,
We've grown together, and I've just watched what you've done. And, people don't understand. If you don't know where you came from, how can you know where you're going?
That's so real, man.
You know?
That's so real. And where I came from, You know, Kurt, this is the thing, man, and I do appreciate you, because I remember when we met, we had this synergy right off the bat, and then every time we see each other, we embrace.
Yes.
We embrace, because it is amazing. And let me tell you where I come from, because that's
it.
You are so on point. My grandfather grew up in North Carolina, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, and he was a proud black man, but the South broke him down.
Okay.
Broke him down so bad, because he said he had to walk in the town. He had to hold his head down. He couldn't look people straight in the eyes. He couldn't look at a white woman and look at a white man. He can go to jail, or he can be lynched or whatever. And he said walking through the woods, he can smell the stench of people being lynched. And then he when he got home, he was still afraid to go back out at night. So when he told me those stories, Kurt, I was blown away by the fear that this man had to live through in all of his life. So that's what really, really got me going as a young person. And then when he moved to New York City and thinking that, oh, this is it. I'm moving to New York. I'm gonna build skyscrapers. And he got there, and he tried to do the best that he could for his family, and he kept wondering whether he was ever going to live that dream. But he always had a fear that he was going to get a thick envelope. A thick envelope meant that you were being laid off. I was like, are you serious? He was always nervous about being laid off, without even wondering why would he be laid off if he's doing a great job. Well, one day, my grandfather got this thick envelope, and when he got that thick envelope, he was devastated. He started drinking, going to pool halls, trying to hustle, still trying to take care of his family, but it broke him all the way down. And it was like the South all over again for him. So the reason why today I'm an entrepreneur, because I tell everybody, I'm never gonna want anybody to give me a thick envelope, because I'm gonna be giving out the envelopes. If I'm giving out the envelopes, I'm not giving myself a thick envelope. So
amen.
That's what motivates me every single day to keep doing what I do.
And that's so true. And the opportunities, from each decade to decade to generation, the opportunities change.
Yes, sir.
And from what we learn, we have to base it. A lot of it came from our family while we was young.
Yep.
But when we got into the military, that's when we learned.
Yes, sir.
That kind of, nuts and bolts of how things should be done. And, there's no quitting. There's no failing. We had to get it done. So the developing programs that you did in the military, then you took that and kind of ran with it through station casinos, and all that knowledge is where we are today.
That is
and
right.
That's why your business is so successful.
Yes, sir.
Everybody know about it. And if they don't know about Super marketing, they will tonight.
That's right.
In my research, I flipped through a few pages of the I flipped through a few pages on the website, and man, let me tell you, you are just incredible, because I was looking at, you have this the Monday, we get an email every Monday with a little clip that tells us something about marketing and what we need to do. It's kind of like the positive motivation to start your Monday, so you don't start in the negative. If you get that email, and you get those emails for 2 weeks, but after 2 weeks, come on now. This some good stuff. You done already drew them in.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'll go ahead and drop this down, these couple of hundred right here, so I can get more of these.
Right.
That's entrepreneurism. That's how you do business. Let me feed you some, and then I'm gonna get you some, and now you're gonna become a part of this, because you like, I don't need to go nowhere else. I've been getting these emails, and I really like what's going on. And then you got the zone. What's that one called?
Oh, the Some New Solutions Zone.
Look at here.
Man, that's interesting, because my daughter created the Some New Solutions Zone.
Wow.
Because I had been teaching classes and doing radio shows and doing everything, and trying to feed this knowledge into our entrepreneurs. For entrepreneurs and people who own small businesses, my daughter was saying, you got so much to give, but you can only give but so much the way you're giving it. So she created the Some New Solution Zone. That is an online portal where people can just go, and I can become their marketing mentor 24/7. So I could go into the zone. People could be in there talking right now, talking about their marketing ideas, and I could drop some knowledge right inside there. So she's really taken me to a whole different atmosphere.
Our youth are amazing. Our children are amazing, because they up in this technology realm right here, and they running with it. Now, that same solution zone you have, you know who else does the same thing? Not to take it to a different level, but my boy E.T.
Okay.
He does the same exact thing.
Right on.
And I'm like, woo-wee, am I missing out on something? I mean, it's just incredible because it's a community.
Yeah.
And when you have that community and everybody's trading questions, answering questions, giving gifts, gems, some people call them.
Yes, sir.
Even I call constructive criticism a gift.
Yeah.
Because if you look at construction, I'm building, the criticism, maybe we need to change that word, constructive gifts.
Right.
Because,
gifts.
because people open up. When you say constructive criticism, that wall kind of goes up and people kind of like, well, how you telling me something? But when you say, well, I'm going to give you a few gifts that's going to be a blessing to you and help you build your business, them ears perk up. Everybody like Christmas, so everybody like gifts.
Yes, everybody loves gifts. And, and that's what it is. It's really, people have to understand the value of knowledge and wisdom in all of those years. And Kurt, I probably should have started before station casinos, because actually I started my first business when I was 13.
Right. I
started doing flyers and tape covers and posters and things like that in my neighborhood. And everybody else could rap. They could DJ, they could spin records and do all of that. I know how to make flyers.
That's your niche.
That's my niche. That was my thing. I know how to communicate. I know how to street team. I still street team today.
Wow.
As part of our business. But, I really, like that young man that was here earlier who started his business at 13. I am a lifelong entrepreneur.
Yes.
So, I used to do it for everybody else, the military. I did it for the military. I did it for stations. And then now I'm doing it for some new marketing. So I'm just blessed, man. I'm walking around here and just loving what I get to do on a daily basis.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have never heard, and God, I've been home since 95. I've been home. My son was born in 95. So from the time we met in 2002, 2003, that's when I first started at Wells Fargo, was 2002.
Okay.
And so I have never heard anybody, we know a lot of people in the community.
Right.
We know the rollers, we go to all the events.
Right.
Hopefully they coming back soon.
Yeah.
And we met a lot of people, but I can't honestly say I've never heard one ill word combined with your name.
Oh, wow.
I never, ever. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there hating.
I'll tell you.
I've never heard that,
it's
man.
funny because here's some things that people have said, and people have felt like I am trying to take things to places that are unfamiliar to them.
Yes.
Right? Like the urban chamber. Like a lot of people had accused me of trying to make it something that they can't recognize, or hey, you're not making it black enough, or whatever the case may be.
It's urban.
And it's urban. But here's the thing. See, and it's all in how people define blackness, right?
Yeah.
That's my problem, is like, you think blackness means hood, or blackness means you got to have all black people. Here is my answer to everybody that says, Shondell, why are you doing it this way? Because if Africa is the birthplace of man, then everybody's African, right?
Thanks.
See, the problem is that we've been brainwashed to think that we come from somewhere else, when actually everybody comes from us.
Yes.
So if everybody comes from us, that's why black people are so hospitable.
Yes.
Is because everybody comes from us. And Africa as a continent is the most diverse continent in the world.
Yes.
So why do we always say, well, you ain't gonna make it black? The way you make it black is by bringing everybody to watch your greatness at work.
Yes. Watch it grow.
Watch it grow.
And you said something earlier, that education.
Oh, man.
When you're trying to develop these programs and elevate us,
yes, sir.
I'm just sorry, I'm gonna put it out there. If you don't have a growth mindset,
yes, sir,
you will fail. You're gonna get left behind.
Yeah.
Everybody remember Blockbuster, right?
Yep.
Red Box, a little box, took over a big old conglomerate,
yes,
put them
sir.
out of business because they wasn't up with the times.
You got to stay with it.
Man, you got to have a growth mindset, man. You can't have a fixed mindset thinking you already know everything and you better than. We just went through that for 4 years. I'm sorry, I'm putting it out there.
Right.
We just went through that. and
telling the truth.
And we see what goes on. You're
Yeah.
hindering yourself from self-growth
Yeah.
if you don't have a growth mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me, I support anything. You pick up the phone and ask me, Kurt,
Right.
we're going to go skydiving and we're going to do flips.
Yes, sir.
And you know that's my favorite thing to do. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be right there with you. You
Right,
know, that's
right.
the kind of support
Yeah.
that we have among our circle. I say it like that.
Yeah, but Kurt, you know what we should have learned from the last 4 years?
Huh.
Because just like I said about my grandfather, right, in the 1940s and 50s, you know, one of the things that people need to understand is that was a replay of all of that.
Thank you.
And I just wrote an article in the Urban Voice about the Third Reconstruction.
Ah.
If people don't realize one thing, here's one thing that everybody has to understand, is that today, what's happening in the political realm of everything is that right now everyone wants to take us back. You see the flag,
Yes,
1776.
yes.
You see the Confederate flag. Everybody wants to take us back to those times that my grandfather feared.
Yes. Okay.
And that's what they want to do. But I refuse to allow that to happen. Why? Because I know for a fact that the world and this country will be the greatest country in the world when my father, like my father said, when America realizes that it is America.
Thank you. Okay.
Right?
You
So
know,
that's really what it is.
man, we're so diverse, and we can all learn from each other.
Yes,
And-
sir.
But you know, some people want to leave us behind and things like that. But we got the internet now. There is no
Yeah.
excuse for us not to win.
None whatsoever.
None excuse whatsoever.
Yeah.
Let me go into this one more. So, I've been knowing you a while. I've seen the things that you do. I did a little investigation on your website and how you run your business.
Yeah.
What do you think is your unique skill that allows you to be successful on your journey?
I think my biggest, my unique skill is my gift of understanding people.
Amen. Yes.
And there's a term in marketing called psychographics, and this is where a lot of people in my industry right now are failing. They don't understand people. They're just throwing stuff out there and hoping it sticks. What I take pride in is really paying attention to people, their beliefs, their needs, their wants, and their desires.
Okay.
I stay focused on what people need, want, and desire. And that's the gift that Walt Disney had.
Yes.
Right? Walt Disney has been gone from this world since the 1960s. He passed away in 1960, and his company has kept growing.
Yes.
That's the gift that Steve Jobs had.
Yep.
Is understanding. Somebody asked him once before, like, "Hey, Steve, are you trying to compete with IBM?" He said, "Then you don't know me, because actually, I'm trying to build things for children that are not born yet." Right.
Okay.
So I'll say that is that what I do on a daily basis is just like LeBron James dunking the ball. It is something that I wake up and I just create, and I wake up and I just do, because that is what God has given me as a gift. And at 13 years old, a deacon in my church recognized that, and he brought me into his business, Lou Edna Graphics in Brooklyn, where man, it was like putting Ray Charles on a piano. I was going. I was cutting this, doing this, designing this, doing that. And then all of a sudden, I went to this high school called the High School of Graphic Communication Arts. And that was like my dream high school. Like some people wanted to go to Juilliard to sing, dance, you know, and or act. I went to this school and I was in heaven. So when I say, like, when I went to station casinos and they started talking about all this new technology, penny technology, ticket technology, all these things, it was so easy for me, Kurt. It wasn't, and so I, you know, today, that's what I get to do every single day, is wake up and create. So the gift is really in that piece, is the understanding the psychographics.
I wrote that
people.
word down. You know, I wrote that down. I'm gonna look it up.
That's the right
I'm
word.
Study it. Psychographics.
Yeah, study that word.
That's
man.
one I didn't know.
And let me tell you what's funny, because you know how people have their favorite. Everybody has like Albert Einstein, or they got you know, LeBron probably grew up watching Jordan and Magic Johnson.
Right.
So I grew up reading books by a guy named David Ogilvy, an Englishman, who really is the father of modern day advertising and branding. And he talked about branding being the intangibles. Everybody focused on the logos, the colors, and all the schemes.
Right.
The intent, the part that I love about it the most is the emotion of branding. It's how people love your brand. And when they fall in love with your brand, you become Starbucks.
Right.
When they don't fall in love with your brand, you become Blockbuster.
Okay. Exactly.
You got to have people fall in love with your brand. And I like to think people fell in love with something new. That's why I'm really excited about it all the time.
You know, I was looking across the bottom of all the companies. I'm not going to quote them all, but one stood out to me because I love that place, and that's the Smith Center.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, that's huge. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
That's my place right there.
Yeah.
Season tickets, hey, man,
Yeah.
I got to go to every event, the Jazz Cabaret.
Yeah.
But when I seen it at the bottom, like, man, I'm slipping. I didn't even know he had these kind of people under his belt.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
Oh man, that's a beauty. It is. It really is. And sometimes I gotta sit back and marvel at the clients that we've had the opportunity to work with.
Yeah.
The Smith Center, when they first started out, we were doing a lot of grassroots outreach. We helped them with, all kinds of different acts that came in. Cabaret jazz,
Okay.
that was
Yes.
one of them. Man, it is. That's why I love what I do, man. I get to interact with so many amazing people.
I swear, man, I tell people all the time, we live in the greatest city in the world. And it's somewhere where everybody wants to come at least once to experience, and then they come back. But how many people don't even know about the Smith Center?
Right.
Man, they should have their kids down there. The Discovery Museum is right next door, so you got to see it and know what's going on. That's like San Francisco, New York, the Bay Area with the Paramount and things like that.
Right.
We have our own here, and we got to support that to make sure they stay here.
Yeah.
And you know, I had the opportunity to take my son to a few shows, and he was kicking and fighting all the way. Dad, it's going to be boring.
Right.
And he get there, and he's like, wow, Dad, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Listen to the sound. Look at this roof.
Yeah.
And then he never forgot that. And we seen the $1 Million Quartet there.
Man.
And then you hearing the music. He say, Dad, they playing Little Richard's music. I say, that's what happened back in those days.
Yeah.
They kind of stole a lot of our music because we didn't know, you know? And then that was a whole great conversation on the way home.
You know, we've had the pleasure of doing work there for Alvin Ailey Dance Theater.
That's another best one.
You know, Drumline, when Drumline came here. You know, we did every little, I could go on and on about music. And you know, and again, that's what I got to live my best life at Station Casinos.
Yeah.
When we started doing R&B acts, I was like, oh man, I got to meet Teddy Pendergrass,
right.
James Brown, Four Tops, The Temptations. It was man, that was the life right there.
And you know, all that history and you getting to experience that through the years.
Yes.
I mean, it develops who you become.
Yes, it does.
And then you have that foresight to think like you said, I'm making things for kids, or like Job said, I'm making computers for kids that's not here yet.
Yeah.
You doing the same thing in marketing.
Yeah.
And if people don't get out there, we're going to drop the website and all that. I want you to tell them everything. But if they don't get on board, because I've done so much resourcing, I got a little business that's coming up, my life coaching business. I can't go nowhere but to you. That's the only place I can come.
Hey, you gonna do something new?
I gotta do something new.
That's right. That's what we do.
Love it, man.
Yes,
love it. That is it. Right now, one last question before we take a break.
Okay.
How much more success and where do you see your company in the next 5 to 10 years? Well, I'm going to say this because technology moves so fast. Let's say the next 2 to 4 years.
Okay. Well, I tell you, the Some New Solutions Zone is definitely that current and that future.
Okay.
And what we're trying to do is make sure that small businesses around the world have access to the 12 steps of marketing. 12 steps of marketing is how you build what we call a relationship with your brand. Okay. We want people to wake up in the morning and the first thing they do is think about your brand. But most people make the common mistake. The first thing that they do when they start their business is what? Go get business cards, get a brochure, and get a website. Well, that is not the first step that you should take. Nobody does that.
Okay,
you should
now.
take 6 steps. There's 5 steps before you get to business cards, which is where you get to your marketing communications, collateral, and all that stuff. You should first, and this is real important. This is why small businesses have an alarming rate of failure. In their first 3 to 5 years, over 60% of small businesses fail.
Yes, sir.
And they fail because they don't have that foundation. And the foundation goes like this. It goes, first you got to know who you are. So you have to understand your company's DNA. You have to understand your company's DNA, because if you don't understand your company's DNA, how are you going to help a customer? How are you going to find that real good customer who is your loyal brand champion? So you got to know who you are. You have to find that loyal brand champion that matches all the stuff that you do.
Okay.
And then you have to understand the market. You have to understand the changes in the market, the movement in the market. Like if this pandemic hits, what do? How do you react to the market conditions that are in front of you? And then you have to understand how to distribute your product and how to distribute your messaging, how to get that out to the street. And then you have to always understand how does that product appear to everyone else.
Okay.
And then you can communicate it. You can't just jump out and say, here's a business card, here's the logo, here's my website, let's go.
Right.
Because you have nothing to give. You have no substance. You don't have anything ready. So the biggest thing you have to understand is, one, who are you as a company?
Okay.
I'm not R&R. R&R Partners is the biggest ad firm this side of the Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
And definitely our biggest, right? They do the what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, all the Vegas stuff. So R&R Partners is a big ad agency. That's not who Some New is.
Right.
Some New found that who are we? We are the grassroots. Going back to my days when I was 13, we're a grassroots marketing firm. But we also work with small businesses to help them with their brand development, their business development, their training, and all those things. So we know exactly who we are. Now we can find the perfect customer that fits what we offer.
Nice.
And that's where people go. That's where I think people go wrong, John. And you probably seen that in banking a lot.
Oh.
That people come in and they don't.
Yes.
They're like, "Well, I just want to make money."
I was just about to say
you got to start with. There's a problem that needs to be solved in the market, and I just identified a problem. I said small businesses fail at an alarming rate, so I got to go to that problem, make sure that my services match that problem, and then I can start doing my logo, my colors, my branding. We've been in business for 15 years, and I don't ever go out selling.
No, it sells itself.
It sells itself.
It sells itself.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible. You know, I was reading something, and just in Las Vegas, it seems like there were a lot of people that benefited in opening new businesses during the pandemic, such as myself. But now, just listening to you, those little things, you know, I've been reading and everything, because it's a slow start for me, because I still do my other job working with the youth and things like that. But I see where all these gems that you just dropped, you see them gifts?
Yeah.
If y'all didn't get them gifts right there, you're just going to go to the website later on and read it, and you're going to find yourself, if you're a small business, that you're not positioned the way you really think you are.
Yeah.
And some new marketing, something new, okay?
Right. Something new.
Can help you get there, because, I mean, he already had my business and didn't know it, but now I've learned so much more where I'm failing. And I mean, I done helped a lot of businesses like get started with their banking and understanding how to leverage the bank and all that. Yeah. But I never could say, well, you need to go over here really and start here first and get your foundation. Everybody has to have a solid foundation. Yes, I got a program called Kurt's House, and it's the bed of life. That's your foundation, your bed, where you lay your head, and start then and work your way up. Because once that foundation is solid, you can only grow. Yeah, but if it's weak, you're going to tumble.
You're going to tumble.
Yes, sir.
And many businesses have tumbled during this pandemic, especially black-owned businesses have tumbled. And really, that's when you test your foundation. You don't test your foundation in a great economy. That's easy. Everybody's going to do well in a great economy. That's just you just being in the right place, riding the wave with everybody else. But what happens when the wave gets a little rocky?
Thank you.
Right? It gets a little rocky. Are your skills, is your company ready to deal with the tidal wave?
Okay.
Is it ready to submerge and come back out on the other side? Or is it going to be washed ashore and it's going to die like all these other businesses?
Wow.
And that's really what keeps happening to small businesses is, and the whole key to this is cash flow, right?
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
But you can't have cash flow without loyal customers.
Okay.
And that's what I learned at stations. That's why I said God took me on this amazing journey.
Right.
Taught me the discipline of the military. The Air Force taught me discipline.
Yes, sir.
Taught me how to structure. Taught me how to make sure that my team performs at an exceptional level. Not just a good level, an exceptional level because we're playing with lives. We're defending the country.
Right.
And some people say, well, Shondell, you might be taking marketing a little bit too serious. But think about this. If I fail a small business owner, that's their livelihood. That's their life.
Yes.
That is really serious to a lot of small business owners. So I take it that serious.
That's good.
I really do.
Man, that's incredible. We're going to put a phone number in the feed. We're going to go to break. And we want somebody to call in and he might drop a couple of gems, but it might cost you later on, okay? But you can call in with a good question, and Shondell will definitely give you an answer. And you got to keep going. When you got somebody that has this type of information and wants you to be successful, and you can't see that, well, that means you're a blind man, okay? Because that's what we all want to do is lift up each other. I mean,
sir.
Honestly, Shondell is in this community. He is dedicated to this community. And we're going to talk about the urban on the second half of the show.
Let's do it.
And we're going to get there because just the work that you do is so amazing. And like I say, I'm honored to have you on the show. It's just a blessing that came to me. And when I hit you up, you was like, what you need, bro? I'm like, thank you. And we do that for each other, though. It's always reciprocated.
That's how it's supposed to be.
All right, so we're going to take a break real quick, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to give you the second half of Living Your Best Life with Life Coach Kurt.
Vegeta Sugar,
Yes.
Django isn't a slave. Django is a free man, you understand? You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here, cause he ain't like any of the other niggas around here. You got it?
Yearning for your validation.
Validation.
All in hopes I'm in the conversation.
All in hopes.
Pour so much of me into you. Can't believe I ain't never feel for me instead of you. I slide in the coupe, I lose the roof. Slide for the truth, slide by no rules. It take a hoops, drop a prayer on the screw. One time, slide on my side, I ain't lose. Son of niggas, don't wanna mumble, but don't respect me, niggas. They say it's left, to the left. Never sell my soul, nigga left. Ain't nobody else. Yeah, right. I'm lying to myself. Talking physical, dog spiritual. All these opportunities is higher right to tell. Got to tell me. Keep moving. If not, you can lose it. Time on the close. Knowing they can never do this. Back. Tell them pessimists they need to sprung. Back. I don't need nobody else.
No, I don't.
Tell yourself.
What you say?
You got God as your help. Just let it go and never dwell.
My advice.
Unless they go to you. My advice. Love in the middle, tell the truth. My advice. Sometimes you gotta break the rules. My advice. Stand for something or die for nothing.
My advice.
Facts on the middle, they hating on you. I would tell my younger self. Yeah. You should never go and let. Hypothetical. Fuck all opinions. Your validation and your acceptance. I never needed you. No one never needed you. I never needed you.
No, I never needed you.
Let me know when you're ready. Okay. Hey. Welcome back to the second half of Living Your Best Life. We got Shondell Newsom here, and it's something new, some new marketing.
That's it.
Some new. You got to get something new if you want to elevate it. And I also want to recognize my sponsors again. I mean, they do so much for me and keep me going, and I appreciate everything. We got Redrum Mobile Salon. I forgot to say them earlier, and that's my girl. I just talked to her earlier today. She has a mobile hair salon. First one in Nevada. They even had to change some things to make sure she can have her business here because no one's ever done it before. Very unique. We got Bougie Girl Vegas, all the bling that you need and looking for. We can make that happen for you. And also, we had 702 Braids for You. Hey, that's my girl Cindy Michelle over there whipping it up. Go to their site. Let them know that you heard about their businesses on Living Your Best Life with Life Coach Kurt. Or just say Life Coach Kurt, and you're going to get a 10 to 15% discount on any services that they have. And don't forget, we got the mobile salon. They come to you, okay? You can't beat that, okay? Or they'll set up somewhere and let everybody know where they can come, but they're mobile, so they can go anywhere in town. So in the second half, we want to talk about a few things, but if you didn't understand some of those gifts that was given earlier, and there's some struggles that you might be having in your new business or existing business, and you need someone in your marketing side to help you get over the hump, because I know business coaches. Brandon Ward, another partner of mine, he does that so they can help develop a team. But I think Shondell does all that. They'll do all that kind of training, and we all work together. So, you want to hit the website. We're going to give you that information soon. But let's get back into the conversation. So, you already touched on it. It was one of my questions that you do so much for small businesses in our community. And a lot of people don't even realize it. We're all on Facebook together. We have different groups we're on, and people are learning about the services from different business owners in that group. But you don't even have to advertise in that group because you're going to take a picture, and they're going to see either you in your orange or whatever colors you wear with your branding on it, your hats, your face mask, everything. And that's what it's about because that's the person who you are.
Right there.
And when people know who you are, they can spot you. And, we dark skinned, so when we wear those nice bright colors, they see us.
Hey, Kurt, you know what? That's funny because you say that. I'm going to say two things. One thing,
Yes,
I respect you and Brandon. And here's what I know. Brandon is working with Some New with my team members. I hired them on a monthly basis to be our coaches and to coach our team. So here's one thing that I'll tell you about Some New. Some New has been partners or mentors to many businesses.
Yes, sir.
So if there's a service that other businesses provide, whether, I work a lot with Joe Cato and Periwinkle. I work a lot with other marketing firms and PR firms because we can't do it all.
Right.
So when we have contracts, we bring in people and we have them work with us on contracts, or we have people come work with us and provide services. I don't do my own bookkeeping. I don't do my own accounting.
Right.
I don't do any of that. I hire other people, and I hire people from the chamber, or I hire people in the community, or people like yourself who I know and I have a relationship with.
Right.
That's who I bring in. And the other thing, like you were saying, man, it's like, as part of the community, I believe that we all have an obligation to bring something to the community.
Exactly.
And to help others to grow, just like your sponsors, just like you propping them up. We have to come together and help each other in order for commerce to work.
Yes.
So that's really what it is. And the final thing I'll tell you is, many people don't know this, but they don't know that my favorite color is not actually orange. Orange was a psychology of color, going back to those psychographics. When I designed my brand, orange forces people to be creative. Psychologically, it pushes people to have two-way thinking. So all of my office, my trash can, my fans, my curtains, everything is orange because it forces people's attitudes to change when they walk in our office. And I just watch them. I people watch, and it works. Wow. It definitely works.
Y'all hear that? Orange is the new black. No, it's
been.
better than black. Orange, it invigorates you. It gets you to look outside the box and think. And that's that. Where my word at? That's that psychographics,
that's
right?
That's it, sir.
That's it. Okay, and it works on emotions. Talking about emotions, because you mentioned we was talking about your passion and your purpose, and you started at 13 years old, working for a young man in the neighborhood. Then you went to the high school that promoted marketing and things like that. So, they always say your passion is built on emotions, and that can change at any time. But when you know what your purpose is, that's long going.
Man.
That's long going. It doesn't change that often. Because you're so passionate about what you're doing and you see the light, because it ain't no end to your tunnel, because it's constant growth, then your purpose is there and it doesn't change it. And you said something else about how you make relationships with the people that you work with, whether you bring somebody in. And that's what we like. It's about a relationship.
Yeah.
I would rather bring somebody in either to help me and train me that I know than a stranger, because we haven't even gotten a relationship yet. Yeah. And how true do I know you are about my well-being and my success?
So in my book, it's called Relationship. I even rewrote the word, and I got it copywritten, so nobody steal it.
Nice.
If you steal it, I'm coming after you. Cease and desist right now. So Relationship, R-E-A-L.
Right.
And I changed that word because everybody says, hey, that's my friend, or that's my buddy, or I'm talking about something that's real, like what we got.
Right.
I'm talking about what I got with the wards. That's real. I only bring people into my family that's real. I'm a big mob person. I love the mob movies, all of the Godfathers, everything. So I believe in family, mi familia, right? And I say this: if you are part of my family, you're part of my family, and I believe in that. So I think that's where I get the relationship piece from. Is I think it's really important that you first look at who can rock with you, who can roll with you, and who's gonna be loyal to the brand.
Right, exactly. And that's so true. And it's still a learning process, and getting the word out and getting people to understand those things will help us grow together.
Yes, sir.
I always say the only time I look down on the brother is when I'm giving him a hand up.
Yes.
Because that's the way it's supposed to be. And we allow outside forces to create separatism.
Yeah.
And then that means they winning, because they know when we all in one, that force, that intelligence, that hustle mentality, all we do is change the product. Yeah. We ain't in the streets no more.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
We slinging marketing, slinging life skills, slinging food. The Chef Jeff Project, he changed his product. And look where he's at now.
Yeah.
Very successful man.
Yeah.
Even though the journey was tough, he realized that there was something greater. And now working with these youth, man, it's incredible.
And your purpose, the only way you're going to know that your purpose is working is if you are impacting others.
Yes. Yes,
and that's
sir.
that's what I always tell folks, is like, I know if my purpose, if God has me on this journey and it's really purposeful, it's because I'm impacting other people. By impacting other people, you are elevated and you get what's called favor. And when you get favor, you are walking in God's purpose, and you know that things just come, and it's not necessarily and I'm gonna tell you how you know it's God, because it's not things that you can imagine. I could not imagine that a kid coming out of Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, do or die. 2 out of every 10 black males come out of there. All the other 8 go to prison, or the other 8 die. So I know I came out of Bed-Stuy and moved to Las Vegas, Sin City, Sin City, and elevated to a place that I couldn't even imagine I would ever be. I'm sitting on calls with the White House. I'm with the Vice President. I'm with President. I'm enjoying this ride, and I never even asked for it, Kurt. And that's when I know I'm walking in purpose.
Yes, and I'm gonna put this out there. I'm sorry. God bless, rest in peace. Boy, you sound a lot like Reverend Fowler. Oh. I'm sorry.
Well, I miss that
sir.
guy.
Yes,
Dr.
we all
Fowler.
miss Dr. Fowler, man.
I'll tell you what makes Dr. Fowler so amazing. He told me, Shondell, don't trust me, trust the Lord, trust the word. And then I see my girl Denise Dixon on there. Denise and I go a long way back.
Right.
I see her on the feed. Let me tell you, people like Denise lets me know that there is a God. Right? Because me and Denise, for a long, long time, I've always watched her, me and my wife mentor, and look at Denise and say, Denise. My wife called her Niecy. So, that's a whole different level. My wife called her Niecy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, Niecy,
wow.
She give her the mama talk and that kind of thing. And she's still our baby. She still always will be our baby. But she is an entrepreneur out there doing her thing. We watch her all the time. She's doing amazing things. And that's how we know.
Yes, sir.
When we can see the seeds of things that we've planted, or things that we've been around that help we watch things grow, or watch people grow, that's when we know we're working and walking in God's purpose.
That's it. Let me acknowledge some people real quick that's on the feed that I can see. I see my frat brother Rob out there, Kanisha Calhoun, My boy Malik Jenkins, hey, he has a show here. We all support each other. Misty, that's the goddess of BU Radio. She helps us with everything. Never misses a show. Mr. Ted Lowry, we appreciate you checking in. Chrissy Renee, another one of our shows, the Beauty and the Braids and Beauty. Incredible. I listened to her this morning. Incredible. Then the person that gave me that extra spark, that watched me for like 2 and 3 years and said, Kurt, you got something special. I'm going to put you on my back and I'm going to put you out there and get you started. And that's LaShawn Borden, which is actually Lyric.
Right
Lyric,
on.
That's my sister right there. And she gave me a little spark and said, you know, brother, I'm going to bring you along with me. And you're going to get that bug of wanting to be on TV or radio and have a talk show one day. And, you know, it's so, too, because it's all coming to fruition. And I appreciate everything you done for me, sis. And, you know, that's what it's all about. It's us working together, like you said, that community, the family.
Yes.
Bringing that family in. Denise Dixon, you know, we on Facebook together. Thank you for checking in with us. And, you know, she said, Shondell was my first mentor. Yes, he mentors many. And some of it, he don't even realize what he does with the rest of us because you just, man, our community is so lovely. People like, everybody's this and that in Las Vegas. Y'all don't know us in Las Vegas. You know, people really don't know how big our hearts is and how big we want everyone to succeed.
Yeah.
You know, it ain't no, oh, I'm not going to teach you this. I'm going to hold you down. That's the old Peter principle.
Yeah.
Put your thumb on somebody and keep them from coming up.
No, man.
That age is gone. We got the internet.
Yes. She's right. She is my favorite. Look at that. She's my favorite. That's my niece.
I'm his favorite. That's it.
That's
she tell
right.
you.
That's right.
That is that great.
Yeah.
You know, we touched on how many businesses failed during the pandemic because their foundation wasn't solid.
Yeah.
And I hope they learn from that because business owners, we're going to come back. Mm-hmm. Even when we fail, we just don't quit.
Yes.
You know, because that's your life. You've been doing this. You have that entrepreneurial spirit. You know how to raise above the others. But the pandemic did teach a lot of people something, and you touched on it, that foundation, where you starting at. It ain't about the business cards. It ain't about the website. It's about building that foundation first.
Yeah.
Man, that's incredible.
And, you know, and the challenge for most of them is that they don't see that. So I tell them it's like building a house.
Yes, sir.
If you build a house and you don't put anything underneath, you don't put electricity or plumbing or any type of foundational pieces that keep the house up, it's just a shell. And it's too many people walking around with shells.
Right.
And so, you know, when and I'll give you a good example. We've been working with the RTCs since 2013. And one of the things that happened is during Black Lives Matter, of course, a lot of us ride the bus. A lot of us are you know, we're part of you know, the transit community. And one thing the general manager and the marketing VP asked a question saying, hey, Shondell, you know, what could we do to help people with Black Lives Matter? I said, you guys are doing it. They're like, what? It's all part of your brand.
Right.
Like, you don't have to, when you have a great brand, your habits already take over.
That's it.
You don't have to think about it. Instincts take over. When I played football, the best thing I could do as a corner was work on my footwork and work on my ball skills. And then as soon as I got on the football field during the game, oh man, it was instant.
Right,
It was just,
it's
I didn't
instant.
have to think about it no more.
Yes, sir.
And that's what a good brand you don't have to think about no more. You never have to think. A good brand. You want McDonald's. You go to work for McDonald's. You know what McDonald's doing.
Yeah.
That's when you know you got a great brand. Is you don't have to think anymore. Your brand takes over and it does what it do, baby. That's what Ray Charles said. I do what I do, baby.
Do what I do, baby. All right, so let's switch over to the Urban Chamber.
Yes.
Please enlighten us. I mean, first of all, I love the Urban Chamber of Commerce because my son, Jovan Fitzgerald Curley, was the recipient of the Hannah Brown scholarship back in 2013, 2014. That's when he graduated, 2013.
Right.
And so I know they give back to the community.
Yes.
But go ahead and give us a little bit of information about that.
So the Urban Chamber, in its simplest form, is we build businesses to build our community. And Ken Evans is the president of the Urban Chamber. I currently chair the board of directors of 15 board of directors. Amazing team of people. amazing team of people with wisdom, people with business experience, corporations, and some young superstars. I got 5 incredible next generation superstars on the board of directors for the Urban Chamber that are going to take it to the next level long after I'm gone, which I'm very, very proud of. And one of the things that I know about the Urban Chamber is it's committed to small and diverse businesses.
Yes, sir.
And we make sure that you're going to be prepared. And let me tell you the 3 things that we're going to take care of.
Okay.
Because that's real important for everybody here to hear what we're going to take care of. We're going to take care of your resources, because most small businesses fail because they don't have resources. They don't know where to go when they need bookkeeping. They don't know where to go when they got to get PPP loans. They don't know where to go when they need some entrepreneurial love or some mentoring or stuff, things like that. They don't know where to go when they don't know how to talk or present. So we got Toastmasters. We got different resources that are all available. We got a relationship with the SBA, the Small Business Administration, Small Business Development Center, SCORE, CSN, UNLV, Nevada State College. We have relationships with all of those people to make sure that you're a well-rounded business owner. And then we have what's called policy. So it's resources first, policy is next. Policy, you can't get anything done without making sure that you focus on policies that help you grow your business. And I'll give you one policy that we impacted that helped thousands of small businesses throughout this valley, and more importantly, many minority-owned companies. We were part of the legislation. We really helped the legislation when the Raiders came here and we were building a new convention center. We went to the legislature in Nevada and Carson City to give small businesses 15% of everything that is happening at the stadium and at the convention center.
Outstanding.
How important is that? Because most people don't realize that during the construction phase alone, $300 million plus was allocated to small and diverse businesses during that construction of the stadium. Not only that, but now we have companies that are in the stadium as vendors, small businesses here in Nevada, that will have that lease for a very, very long time, and they'll be making money as well. And the same thing happened with the convention center. So that's when you talk about policy. And policy is this last PPP round. What we did as far as policy is we knew that a lot of black-owned businesses were not going to be able to get self-employed businesses, and businesses under 20 employees were struggling with getting with Paycheck Protection Program. We made sure that we talked to our legislators, and we spent a lot of time on the phone, back and forth, Zoom calls, talking to the White House, making sure that everything was going to work in our favor for our members and others in the community so they can get PPP loans. My barber just said he got 12 grand because you know he's a self-employed and he's a 1099. So we were working on behalf of those people, and you don't, again, you didn't have to be a member of the chamber. Then the last thing is the most amazing thing, is what we call opportunities.
Okay.
My goodness. And I'm going to shout out one of my other amazing clients, but also a good friend before she became a client, Danette Bro with the Funnel Cake Cafe.
Right, exactly. Yes.
We worked with Danette one time, and Danette went to a meeting with the Wynn Resorts. And the Wynn Resort said, well, you know, we got a buffet, but you know what we don't have? We don't have funnel cakes. And so she created mini funnel cakes and got them into the Wynn Resort. How big is that?
Wow.
That a business, a small business, can get their mini funnel cakes into the Wynn Hotel. And we got many examples like that of many businesses who have had the opportunity. I'll give you one more. KME Architects was the main architect on the third phase of the convention center. A black-owned architecture firm, black Hispanic architecture firm. Those two men got an opportunity to be the lead architect on the new convention center. So we have a lot more success stories. Grits Cafe, Denise's business, Denise with the Cosmetology Institute of Las Vegas, amazing school that teaches young people how to find their vision through cosmetology, entrepreneurship. So we have a lot of success stories, and so I'm really excited about not only where the Urban Chamber is, but where they're going. And I just always feel good about the businesses that we help.
Right.
That's really what I care about, Kirk, more than anything else.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's right there. I mean, wow. And people don't understand how big that is, even though football is seasonal.
Yes.
But when they're home games, that's when they really get to shine.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just part of that growth so they can keep developing because you know it's going to be packed.
Oh, yeah.
It's cashless, the only cashless stadium in the United States or in the world, as far as I know.
Yeah.
That you gotta have a card. Come on now.
And it's not only. And guess what? It's concerts. It's gonna be a whole lot of
that's
stuff
right.
going
Yeah,
on.
that's
so
right.
People who get in the stadium get an opportunity to, and that's not just vendors.
Right.
We had a black security company that was at the stadium.
Nice.
There will be ushers. There'll be maintenance, right? Cleanup crews, whatever you can imagine that fits within a stadium, we can make things happen. And not only that, we actually, before the draft got canceled,
right.
we had a lot of small businesses already lined up to work with the NFL draft. So when I say Ken is working and he's earning it more than his paycheck, he is killing the game. He's killing
That's
the game.
great.
Yes, sir.
You know, hey, that officer and the gentleman right
Yeah.
there, United States Air Force, Ken Evans, incredible guy.
Yeah.
Another incredible guy. But, you know, people miss the boat on the Urban Chamber of Commerce. And because I've been to so many luncheons and got to network with so many people and get to see it grow. I mean, I can only see what you about to do and who follows behind you. Like you say, your board and everybody. And people just don't understand. This is where it's at. These are the people putting in work. The information you just put out, I know there's many that didn't know all that was going on. Many that didn't know all that was going on and missed the boat. I'm hoping my buddy Mr. Wedlow gets something out there, you know, if he ain't too late because things are kind of, but I know he used to do everything at Wells Fargo for as a cleaning crew. You know Wedlow,
I know Wedlow. Wedlow just did my house, man. When I moved to my house, Wedlow.
That's it.
My wife said we got a COVID clean our house, and she called Wedlow.
That's it. That's our guy. That's
right.
our guy. That's the community I'm talking about. I was talking to a friend, and you know, a lot of people know me, but there's a whole lot of people that don't know who I am. And we was just having a conversation. You know, you just saying, do you know this person? You know, you need to meet this person. Yourself, I was talking about it. And they're like, Kurt, I never knew you were so connected. No, these are my friends.
Right.
It's not this is family. I mean, they all bank with me at one time or another. You know, I done helped so many people grow their businesses and understand how to leverage bank funds so you don't have to deplete your cash flow. And people come in and say, well, I don't want no credit. No, you got to get it now when you don't need it, so it's available for you. You can just let it sit there because you're going to have some issues. Who knew the pandemic was coming?
Right.
Come on now, but people, you know, hard heads make a soft behind. My mama always said, you know.
You know, the biggest downfall for a lot of us in the first round of PPP was not having a banking relationship.
Right.
And that's like you said, you got to have those relationships before you need them.
Yes.
It's not, I'm going to go get this relationship now because see, the smart business person has a network of a bunch of people who can get stuff done.
Yes, sir.
I need something with the bank. I call Jerry.
Yep.
Right?
Jerry
I
Merrick,
need something done with bookkeeping. I call Leah.
Yes.
You know, I call my lawyer friends. Depending on what it is, I call the lawyer to do this, lawyer to do that. We got to meet with our lawyer tomorrow.
There you go.
And you as a business owner can't sell yourself short. You can't do it all. The only way you can duplicate yourself is by surrounding yourself with people who are smarter than you.
Amen. That's my dad. My dad always said that. He said, boy, let me tell you something. You surround yourself with people that's smarter than you and that got more money than you because they're going to teach you everything based on your intelligence.
Yep.
They want to take you with them no matter what color you are.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. And my dad passed away in 2018 at 94 years old. But, man, what a blessing having him as my father and just learning so much. I want to give a quick shout-out to Jamil Butler. My man, thank you for tuning in. Man, God bless you. I miss you. We need to get on there and talk for a while and catch up on things. Congratulations on your wedding to your beautiful wife. Appreciate you popping in.
Yeah.
All right, back to some more questions real quick, because now we're getting to the fun part. First of all, I want to make sure, give them all the handles where they can find you, find your company.
Yeah.
go ahead and do that, and then we got the fun questions.
Okay,
before
so
we get out of
you
here.
can find me on Facebook, ShondelNewsome.com, LinkedIn, ShondelNewsome.com. You can find me on Instagram, and you can also find me on Twitter. So all of those places, if you just look me up, you'll find me. You
And
can
the
just follow.
business?
And the business is Some New Marketing. So that's SUMNU marketing.com on all of those different platforms. And all you gotta do is look us up. You'll find us.
Man, and read. Get
Yeah.
on that website and read. It's
Yeah.
amazing. When you do research, what you learn about a person that you thought you knew well, but you learn more.
And can I say this, Kurt?
Yes, sir.
And I don't know if I could do pricing and all that,
No,
but I just want to explain
do
to
what you
people
wanna
this.
do. That's
Because
it.
here's the thing: what my daughter thought of is, because if it was up to me, I give it away for free,
Mm-hmm.
right? But she said, look, for $200 a month, where are you gonna get a person with 30 plus years experience in marketing telling you how to market your business? I am not designing your business cards. I'm not designing your flyers. I'm not doing your website. But I'm going to tell you what you will have. You're going to have, when you do get to that part of doing all of that stuff, you're going to have the right colors. You're going to have what's called a brand style guide. That brand style guide is going to take your company to a level that will blow your mind. And Danette will tell you that. Danette with the funnel cake will tell you, when we put together her color schemes and all that, it psychologically made people hungry.
Right.
That's what I learned at stations. There's some things that we do. The sound of the machines when it's going ching ching ching.
Yes, sir.
And the music and the game and everything is a strategy to pull you psychologically. And if you want to go to the next level of marketing, that's what that is. The Some New Solution Zone is to take you to the next level of marketing, because everybody's at this level. But if you read a book, Good to Great, good is the enemy of great. Everybody else is good. We're trying to perform and make you great.
Yes.
And so for that, my daughter put that together so that people can go in there and learn the 12 steps of marketing. If you got questions about your business, you could message me in that platform. I'm not answering questions on LinkedIn. I'm not answering questions on Facebook or Twitter. I'll answer it inside that Some New Solution Zone.
Yes, sir. That's it. Man, absolutely incredible. Man, God, boy, you sure is a blessing. You always are, man. And I'm just so excited because now I could just go home and say, okay, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. I'm in there. All right, so this is the fun part. If you were a type of food, what would you be?
Uh-oh. If I was the type of food, I'm going to go old school on you. I would be spinach.
Ah, little Popeye-ism here.
A little Popeye.
And why is that?
Because you're going to be scrawny, but when you get through dealing with me as a vegetable, you're going to be strong.
And that's what he does at Some New.
Yes, sir.
You might start out small, but you use his team over there.
Yeah.
Like Denise said, you need an all-star team. They got an all-star team.
Yes, sir.
All right, next fun fact. What are you not? Well, I already know you. Like you said, you'll give everything away if it was
Right.
up to you, but we don't make no money that way.
That's right.
But what are you not very good at, sir?
Okay, so because I'm great at marketing, I'll tell you, I don't like to sell.
Okay.
So I'm
Okay.
great at marketing, so I made myself on purpose bad at selling.
Yes.
Because I feel like if I build a relationship, and this is a fact, for 15 years, I've never chased business. I don't call people. I don't ask them for business. I don't sell anything. I market and build relationships. I'm on purpose. I'm very bad at selling. I don't sell. I don't know how to sell.
That's great. And I think I knew the answer to this one a little bit. We're going to go for it. If you could switch lives with someone for 24 hours, who would it be and why?
For 24 hours.
Just 24 hours.
Oh, wow. Warren Buffett.
Nice. For 24
Warren Buffett.
hours.
Yes.
Yes. And why is that?
Because, it's interesting. I follow Warren Buffett. That's another entrepreneur that I follow for many years. I would love to know what it feels like to donate $100 million to a country in Africa.
Hello.
And get the feeling that he talked about. And it's not so much the money.
Nope.
Because he talked about the fact that you don't have to chase money. It will come to you if you do all the things that you need to do. And if I had that type of financial well-being, I would think just like him. Yeah. I wouldn't. It wouldn't matter. He still stays in the same home in Nebraska.
Yeah.
He drives a Lincoln Town car. So that would be Shondell. That's who I would want to be.
Outstanding. That's it. That's beautiful. Because it actually that comes from the heart.
Yeah.
When people do good for others, it's just what they're built out of and how they live their lives and how the people they surround themselves with.
Yeah.
And it comes natural. I feel the same way. If I could donate something like $100 million to somebody, man, what a tax write-off.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah.
That's the other part of
huge.
it. But can we get the sponsors up one more time? Man, I'm just so excited about, I think we're getting close. I think we're doing real good.
Yeah, we're doing great, huh?
All right. Get those sponsors. Oh, they come. So I want to say thank you to my sponsors once again. You guys are the ones that make this happen every week and keep me here and keep me going forward, bringing some amazing guests such as Shondell Newsome and Some New. If y'all go to sleep tonight, y'all need to write Some New on a piece of paper, put it under your pillow, and let it soak in. Because if you got a small business or thinking about starting a business, getting the cards, getting the website and all that isn't the first part of that foundation. You need to get a marketing company. And you know what? Anything can happen if it needs to happen. Don't say, oh, well, I don't have this and I don't have this. Closed mouth don't get fed. We'll figure out a way. Figure out a way because they want you to be successful. You want to be successful, and you don't want to be there in that strategy that people give up because quitting is final. Mm-hmm. It's permanent. When you quit, it's permanent usually, and you can't come back from that. But if you get some help, raise your hand, open up your mouth, and get the help that you need to build your business, I know you're going to be great. Mm-hmm. So my sponsors, 702 Braids, Redrum Mobile Salon, and Bougie Vegas. Love you guys. Thank you very much for all your support. And it's another great night. And we're living your best life with Life Coach Kurt. Have a great evening. See you next week, Monday at 8 p.m. Thank you very much. Stay blessed and highly favored.
Yeah. It's a little different this time. Yeah. Come alive in the nighttime. Cruising down in the state. 95. Going buck 5. Hope I don't see them pop lanes. Hope I don't. In the fast lane, they told me about the warning signs. Trying to live fast, die young, we ain't got time. No, we do it part-time. The benefits don't benefit, it ain't full-time. More than 40 every week, putting overtime. I'm clocking 7 days a week till I'm prime time. That ain't enough time for the short time. Says I'm trying to see a million by the summertime. Before it's fall time, and they forget mine. A cold world without my pockets warming when the shivering. Foot on the gas pedal, leave it stuck and dry. Never slowing down, had to cut the brake lines. Jesus take the wheel, I'ma steal when I decide. That just free will, we don't trust him all the time. When we should, but I don't mean to preach. But when your hands upon the wheel, who you trying to be? Extend your hand out, tell me who you trying to reach. On yourself like you out playing hide and seek. Still I'm cruising for a chase. Knowing that my family is not safe. They not safe unless we keep a bag in the safe. It ain't safe. No, it ain't safe.